Victor Schauberger created implosion impeller inventions based upon this phi pentagonal golden egg.
Back in the early 1930s, Victor set to work to build a machine that would produce good drinking water artificially. It would copy the natural processes of bubbling mountain spring water. His first plan for a water purifier developed into this egg-shaped apparatus, what became known as biosynthesis. In this process, small amounts of trace minerals and carbon dioxide are added to the water, which is then energized in darkness, set into a harmonious spiral motion by the specially shaped agitator. The dynamics of the water flow are simplified in this diagram. A cooling coil provides the temperature control, and the vessel is enclosed in an insulating shell to contain the implosion energy within. The egg shape, another of nature's secrets, was chosen by Victor as a perfect form for a vortex chamber. An egg has a perfect curve for sustaining the momentum of a vortex within it. A central theme of Victor's thinking was the cycloid space curve, observed in the motion of the planets as they orbit around the sun, while at the same time spinning on their own axes. They move in open spirals, or eggways, as Victor called them. The spiral pipe incorporates this characteristic. It is conical and generally egg-shaped, except for an inner bend which causes the water to roll inwards, as shown in Victor's egg geometry. Word soon spread that Victor Schauberger could make living water, and people streamed to his home to try it. With excellent result, he became known as the water magician. The vitality of water can be measured by its electrical potential. Every drop manifests an electromagnetic field, as does every body on Earth. The structure of moving water consists of layers, and from the outside layer towards the center, there is an increased density and an increase in electrical potential,
which the egg is associated to the menstruation. So this is a crucial aspect of this presentation, is the ophis and the ovum. The ovum is the egg, the oval, the ovoid, which is a three-dimensional egg shape, is called an ovoid. In other words, an ovoid. The oval of the goddess Yoni, of the cosmic Yoni. The ovum, the oval, the ovoid, the ovary, the monthly cycle of the moon and the menses, the menstruation, which is why the moon holds sway over the cosmic waters, over the tides of the earth, over the primordial waters of the goddess, which again the oval comes from the Vesica Pisces, the goddess vagina, the cosmic yoni. And again, the golden egg contains the golden mean spiral because it is constructed using the phi ratio, the pentagonal ratio of phi, which is the goddess, the 5, the number 5, the penta alpha of the goddess. So this brings us back to the serpent and the egg and the ovary, which is the serpent mound, the primordial mound of the goddess, and the cosmic egg, the serpent eating the egg, or the serpent swallowing the egg, which is the fallopian tube, swallowing the ovary, which is the ovary. The ovum comes from the ovary, comes down the fallopian tube, just as the serpent consumes the egg, which is the exact depictions from the Garden of Eden, the serpent holding the egg, or the golden apple, the golden egg, which he gives to the goddess. So it's about the goddess and the creation, the fertility of life, the creation of life. The serpent and the egg, the sperm and the egg, the sperm and the ovum, which is the power symbol, the phallic and the feminine, the sperm and the egg, which is why the serpent guards the sacred fruit, the fruits of life, the egg of life. And so this, again, we can bring this exactly microcosmically into the body. Once again, in a different way, is that the serpent represents the human spinal column. And that human spinal column, the Kundalini serpentine energy ascends up the spinal column to the pineal gland, inside the center of the skull, which the spinal column is the column which holds up the cosmic, which is the cosmic pillar. And the golden egg lies in the center of your brain, the thalamus, or the diencephalon, or the putamen, the putamen. So again, remember from the part 2 presentation where I depicted the ganglia, or the basal ganglia, being the aureus serpent. So again, this is why the spinal column and the egg, the serpent and the ophis and the ovum, the spinal column and the thalamus within the brain, which again, this is a summation of everything that I've shown in this presentation. And again, this is the significance of the story of Jack and the Beanstalk, or Osiris climbing the ladder to heaven, and Jacob ascending the ladder to heaven, where he comes face to face with God and is names this place Peniel, or Pineal. Because again, this is the story of Jack and the Beanstalk, where he ascends the ladder, where he climbs the spinal ladder to heaven and attains the golden egg laid by the golden goose. And then he returns to earth with the golden egg, the golden mean ratio, the creation of life, bringing forth of life into matter. And how Jack is the same as Jacob, the Jack, the Jacob, Yaakov. So this is the very same story as Jacob's ladder, as Jacob who ascends the ladder to heaven, just as Osiris ascends the ladder to heaven, which again I've covered the Jacob's ladder story in the previous presentation of the series. All of these myths, these stories, and these archetypes are referring directly to the anatomy and the physiology of the human body, of the temple, the inner temple,